Good morning to you, wherever you're joining us from around the world. I welcome you to Enterprise Friday on Enterprise Television. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Chinyere Igweodu.
All right, just before we go to our newspaper review segments, we implore you to join us and have a say in what we say by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Enterprise TV7 and visit our website daily at www.enterprisetvnews.com. In the studios with us to do justice and see through our newspaper reviews today are Barrister Evans Ufeli, a barrister, a law and a public affairs commentator, and journalist Emeka Madunago. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank God it's Friday.
Very well.
Very great. All right, so quickly let's start off our newspaper reviews today with the Daily Trust newspaper. And the big story here says Niger governor, deputy speaker, travel for Hajj. And the writer there says 3 killed at another mining site collapses. Over 50 yet to be rescued from the first incident. There's lack of empathy, and it's coming from the people in Niger State.
All right, still on the Daily Trust, on the top strip we have Federal High Court asserts jurisdiction to hear Kano Emirates dispute.
Now, troops kill bandit leader Buhari Yadi, orders in Kaduna State.
Also, we have on the top strip World Bank to CBN, interest rates hike will not control inflation.
Very true. Now, let's get into the big story itself and take a look at what we have there. The story making rounds now says the governor, Muhammad Umaru Bago of Niger State, his deputy, Yakub Garba, and the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Barrister Abdul Malik Sarkindaji, have all traveled to Saudi Arabia for Hajj, and that's coming from a Daily Trust. I would love to start with you, Barrister Evans Ufeli. There's nothing wrong, going to, be part of what you believe in wherever you want to do that. But where the problem comes is when there is an important responsibility that should be taken care of. Help us draw the connect.
Yes. The truth is that those who lead, whether in the federal level or the state level, are not actually part of the public. So when you say public holiday, because I know where the argument is going to come from, somebody will want to deflect when I build up on what I want to build up. So that's why I want to attack that side first. Somebody might argue that there's a public holiday, right? Mm-hmm. Public holiday is not meant for those who are leading people. The public holiday is meant for the public, the led. Okay? That does not mean the leaders should not observe public holidays, but they cannot observe it in total absence. Because public holiday does not say that governance should be kept at abeyance. During public holiday, okay, if there's an emergency, the State House of Assembly can call for an emergency sitting. Okay, sometimes security sitting are an issue. The executive too, if there's an emergency. If you look at section 305 of the Constitution, it talked about times of pestilence, times of war, times of, if there is any security challenge in the states, with a boundary, there's pestilence, there's a role that the governor of the state must play. The president at the center, there's a role he must play. So if you use Hajj to now travel to Saudi Arabia, the governor, the speaker, the deputy speaker, so everyone is gone. So we are left with the permanent secretary. You understand? Now, there is nowhere in the law that it stated that if the governor is not around, that the governor and his deputy and the speaker can leave the state at once. So who are you transmitting power to? So as it stands now, Niger State is an ungoverned space. So let's make that declaration this morning. By virtue of their flight, then dereliction of their duties, okay, is an offense. Okay. The deputy governor, the speaker, and the deputy speaker have no immunity. So you can even start from there. The other two that have immunity and they are rudderless. must also be punished when they drop off immunity, because it is wrong. The people of that state donated their allegiance to these guys. Is a complete breach of trust. Because at the end of the day, if you find out what the state will lose in terms of finance, even the funds, they use state funds to do all these things. They shouldn't tell me to go and bring evidence. We know that the state funds they are using to do philandering all over the place. And they go there and come back, they are not changed people. They go there, they see all that's happening there, the level of development, they come back even more wicked than they were before they left the place. So what is the value of this exodus? The people should do what is needful, and that is to commence action against their leaders. Commence action against your leaders at various, because this is a complete disregard to the led. And because the led most times they are helpless. Now, if not for the journalists who are intelligent enough to put this out there, who have followed these guys and followed the story and put this out enough, nobody may even know about it. It's wrong. And then I hear you reading that the deputy governor is one barrister, something of the speaker,
yes,
right?
Exactly, yes. But
you see, this is an embarrassment to the legal profession. This is the height of it. Someone of that level of learning is expected to know that if you lead people, you must lead them to a destination. You cannot abandon them halfway. You cannot. Okay, and part of the problem too is that elections have consequences. We have said it before. The people also have contributed in some ways. Is it the kind of character that they voted? It's just like the Ugandan proverb that says that if you enter into an agreement with a lion to become a vegetarian, you will become the first vegetable that the lion will take on.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister Evans Ofeli. I like that you said if you lead people, you have to lead them to a destination. The governor, the deputy, the speaker traveling to Hajj is the height of malfeasance. I mean, this was done with impunity and glee. But I'd love to, have Emeka's 2 cents or ask if he has a dissenting view to what Barrister has shared. I mean, just look at this. This is an egregious gaffe of the highest stands. Emeka, tell us what you think the comeuppance might be for these people.
You're asking for my 2 cents. First of all, we're still battling over a new minimum wage, so I don't have 2 cents. But beyond that, the strange thing is that the deputy governor was the chairman of the Niger Labour Congress in the state. Now, this was somebody who was leading workers. See where he has led workers to, in the wrong direction. So that tells you when people make all kinds of, verbose declarations, haluta continua, you have a mass of comrades, false comrades, make-believe comrades, they are genuine comrades. By their fruits you shall know them. And this is it. Very shameful. Was it not the same governor who knelt down before President Tinubu? A photograph is everywhere. And the same state has 2 former heads of state. General Ibrahim Babangida, General Abdul Salami Abubakar, who cannot act as elder statesmen. They can give very good advice to Nigerians. Oh, do this, blah, blah, blah. But in their own state, democracy has been ground into the dust. And they cannot say anything. Now, that is where the tragedy begins from. Because in Africa, we know there is a proverb that it is an abomination for elders to be in the house. And a goat delivers a dictator. But in Nigeria, goats are just delivering a dictator and dying there. Because elders choose to stuff their ears against the cries of goats. And you know what? All these things they are sowing, they will repeat. Abdul Salami bequeathed to us a ridiculous constitution. And yet, there has been no event in Niger State that General Abdul Salami has weighed against. Go to other states. Look at Lagos State. There have been times when elder statesmen came out to say, no, Mr. Governor, it's wrong for you to do this. Ogun State. No, Mr. Governor, it's wrong for you. Go to River State. Some elders were saying, Wike, yes, he's the godfather of the governor, Fubara, Sim Fubara. But some elders came out and said, no, Wike, you cannot dictate to the governor. That is why you call them elders. And then you now add statesmen. But in this case, I will put the blame for this state of affairs on Babangida and Abdul Salami. And I hope in future they will learn to keep their mouth shut. Because if they cannot speak out concerning such a ridiculous situation in their states, who are they to advise other Nigerians about what is happening? Come on, charity begins at home. All politics is local. If you cannot take care of the filth in front of your house, how can you go and advise another man that feces are flowing from his house into the drainage? Come on, let's get serious in this country.
Very true. This cannot be better said. We have always talked about transparency and leaders doing the right thing. And I think this is a typical example of why leaders should, as much as they can, be transparent and do what they need to do. And of course, it's important to say that the bandits operated for 3 days in Niger State late May and cooked noodles and spaghetti during
the operation.
Yeah, exactly. It's really unfortunate to say.
The people should recall the speaker and the deputy speaker. From the constituency, they should start an action today to recall them. They should start signing the signature. All they need is 51% of those who voted in that locale. Take the two of them down first, or at least make an attempt, and then let's see what is left. Those who have immunity, we'll wait for them at the exit.
Henry, I was going to ask Barrister if we have some sort of constitutional provision for such things. I mean, what should be the comeuppance for the governor, deputy governor, and the speaker?
Very true.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've said.
Okay.
Where there's gross misconduct like this,
right,
the people have a right to recall their lawmakers. It's section 110 of the 1999 Constitutional Amendment. You can do that at the state level. Okay. All they need is that they have to assemble the people. Then 51% of them who voted in that area, they can sign off on the recall. Then they will have that proceeding. That proceeding will succeed.
Very true. And looking at the lack of or the not so well informed people,
right,
from that area. Who knows if they have more than enough awareness or knowledge to follow through.
How about their elder statesmen? How about Abdul Salami's wife, Justice Fatih Abubakar, who rose to a high position in judiciary?
For the elder statesmen, that is highly a moral issue. It's a moral obligation that they ought to know what to do, having attained that status, and that they ought to intervene. But legally speaking, the people who voted them can take them down by law.
All right, very true. Now let's move on to the next daily for today. It's coming from the Guardian newspaper. What do we have as the big story there?
Okay, the big story here: risky black market booms as many shun voluntary donation.
And that's World Blood Donor Day.
Right.
And we still have on the bottom strip of the same newspaper, labor to demand minimum wage arrears as governors, employers meet Tinubu.
All right, this one here says cholera. Nigeria records 30 deaths and 1,206 cases.
And also Nigeria's 289 delegates are largest at ILO conference in Geneva.
And then, Harry, look at this one.
Yeah.
Cost of rams soar as Muslim faithful prepare for Salah celebration. Have you got one?
I think we hope to guess one. Police ban Doba in Kano over ownership tussle. Gentlemen, let's take very interesting stories here. I don't know, which do you think we should do? which do you think we should do first?
Well, this
When
one
we-
here,
yeah.
I think this is human angle to
Alright.
me. World Blood Donor Day, risky black market booms as many shun voluntary donation.
Very true. Yes. So with the cost of healthcare in Nigeria,
Black market blood donation has been booming now. When my father was in the hospital, he had an accident now. The blood banks did around the hospital, they didn't have they didn't have blood, they ran out of blood, it was only my younger sister who could donate because she's O positive. That's the global donor, So I wasn't in that bracket. And then we went to a blood bank and there are young people. I just noticed that particular blood bank had young people always milling around, So I just called one young guy, and I said, well, I spoke to him and they agreed to follow me. I took him in my car, took him to the hospital, So the doctor, the young guy too, immediately he raised his arm. He saw a tattoo. I said, no, you can't donate blood that you have a tattoo. He told me, no. Now, imagine if I was desperate. Imagine if I decided to just, doctor, close it, just collect the blood, whether he has tattoo or whatever. Imagine the risk to my dad. That's one side of it. Now, imagine people who just don't care. I bet, just bring the blood, or take your money. So, these things are happening. Imagine now in the blood banks, that there are people actually taking blood from such people. When you have a tattoo, you can't donate blood. Imagine people collecting and just, and then this, is a racket. It has been on for years. It has been on. Not just that, there are people donating ovaries. There are people donating sperm. Young people using it to, keep body and soul together. They're just doing it regularly because they tell you, the doctors say you should try and donate blood from time to time. So
I have a friend who the husband left her and she didn't have any job. So in order to take care of her baby, she was donating blood to feed the child and herself. Okay, so she fainted one day. And what was the cause of this? You are breastfeeding, you are donating blood. And breastfeeding, you are donating blood. So she started having migraine.
Right.
Long, constant headache, like 6-7 hours straight. So it was when we got to the hospital that they told her that, what's happening? Your blood is short. Just accentuate what you're saying, because before you donate blood, the person who is doing that ought to check whether you have sufficient blood to even donate. There are people that have excess. There are people that have normal, so you can donate. But when you don't have enough, and you go there and start doing that, so it affects. So the economic reason, I don't think is justified too, because there so many things are happening. People are selling their kidneys to, subsist, and these things are very dangerous. And we don't have enough investigation and arrests on that area. I don't know how they're able to scale through the security implication that you can have this for so long, you understand? And then I've never seen one person that was prosecuted, that he was caught or he was involved in a racket that
there's
led
an ongoing
to
case, one hospital.
Okay.
What's the name of it?
where doctors have been arrested.
Yeah, they have been tried, yes, because they promised
Yes.
promised
In
doctor
Jos.
1 million naira for his kidney.
Yeah.
And then they took, and the boy, they didn't pay the boy. So the matter is in court.
Yes, but it's more like the K. Koremado's case. If it has happened here, you will know nothing will come out from it. That's what I'm trying to say and all that. So if we have one case in Jos, maybe we'll have to increase the number of what we should do in that area to find sanity. But that area is very disturbing.
Very true. And
There's another doctor in Lagos who's been investigated. This one, I think, for allegedly stealing a patient's kidney. Then another thing.
Organ theft.
Another thing is that I'll just use this medium, please permit me to quickly warn Nigerians. I've been doing it on social media, but to quickly warn Nigerians. If you need to, undertake any procedure, please go to a properly registered hospital. Don't go to a quack hospital, because what they are doing is that these people are harvesting people's organs. They will tell you that there's something they will rub. Once you hear they will rub something on your stomach and all that, they are going to, quote me anyway, they are going to remove your kidney. There was a lady that brought up the issue on social media and said she warned somebody, don't go. The lady went. Till today, her phone has been switched off. Nobody can trace her whereabouts. So I just thought I should
Very true.
quickly chip this in.
All right. So finally, let's move on to the Punch newspaper as our last daily for today. And the big story there says Dangote refinery plans a 5.3 billion naira. 5.3 billion liter fuel storage, and right there says with 600 million liters more storage capacity, our plants will become a strategic reserves, and that's coming from Dangote himself.
And on the top strip, we have federal government eyes fresh $500 million World Bank loan for rural roads.
Oh no! So local government funds, the Supreme Court reserves judgment as states battle AGF.
Okay, we also have NNPC withdraws suit against ExxonMobil settlement 1.28 billion naira deal.
All right, so let's get into the big story here. Dangote refinery plans 5.3 billion liter fuel storage. Now, we keep having these stories over and over, especially when it comes to Dangote. What Nigerians are keen more about is the effect of all of these stories we keep having as front page. Do we really see this effect trickling down to the common man?
I'm tired of Dangote refinery. I'm telling you. You see that thing they call Dangote refinery? Maybe it's another monster that we just created. Maybe. Because today they will tell you they will start production. And so day. When the day comes, they are now buying from America. The answer is, so now it's talking about storage. Storage. What is storage? I don't just get this thing out so that it will reduce what you bring from outside. So that's what we need. So that if you are able to undertake or off-take our entire consumption, fine and good, is your monopoly. But let's have it. So that at least the price can have a fall in price. That's what we need. So Dangote refinery, I pray it does not become one of the greatest investments that will lead to the total collapse of that sector. Because so much have gone into it. But what we see coming out from it is one story or the other. Now storage. I don't think, if storage is anything to go by, I don't know what it means. But what I think is that we thought, even the federal government supported Dangote refinery, and we thought that it was going to be a supplement or some kind of intervention. It's not looking like that at all. It's not looking like that at all. So where is this storage going to lead us to? You are telling us what the storage capacity are going. How do you appropriate that to alleviate the problem of the average person on the streets? So this Dangote's refinery story is, I don't know.
Our problem, just like what says, our problem is not storage. The problem is moving the product from the point of storage to the consumer. That is where the problem is. If it's storage, at any given point in time, we have millions of liters in storage across the different fuel depots. The current governor of Enugu State, before he became governor, he had the company Petrolex. They built what I think was said, that it will be the largest fuel storage facility in Nigeria. So talking about storage is not the problem. The issue is that you have to truck petroleum products. That is a major drawback. Because the pipeline network is totally vandalized. Then the independent marketers who own the dispensing points much more than NNPC, they are saying you are owing them billions in bridging claims. You are not paying them. So I think these things are just that the media should also help in properly framing, these stories, so that you don't get too much into the heads of Nigerians who are hungry. And then you model up everything. The issue is not storage. Trucking. If we have to use trains because the pipeline network has been vandalized, then let us ramp up our rail network so that trains can carry these things faster. They just tried one, Lagos to Kanu, 1,134 kilometers, and it was successful.
It was successful, yeah.
Do more of that. Connect, for instance, you have a rail line running from Itakwe through Asaba, under Benin Asaba Expressway. Why not just take from that point and run to Asaba? Even if you can't cross River Niger for now, have a train station at Asaba. There's enough space there before the second Niger bridge. You can have a train station there. You can take goods there. From there, then let them load them on trailers.
Crossover.
Cross into Onitsha. I don't understand. This thing rocket science? I'm tired. Because these people, you talk. It's as if the more you talk, the more their ears are stuffed. I don't
Interestingly,
understand.
I just ask how this would work, knowing and that the major stakeholders in the oil and gas industry are those with the business of trucking some of this product to various destination. It's actually very funny.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Right. When we return, House of Representatives call for purchase of new aircraft for President Tinubu and Vice President Shetima. Details in a moment. Please stay with us.